Did the Broncos massively overpay for a run-stuffing specialist? The $39 million question looms. Sometimes hindsight is more than just 20/20, it's a spotlight. And right now, that spotlight is focused squarely on the Denver Broncos' decision to invest heavily in defensive tackle DJ Jones, a move that is now facing renewed scrutiny after a pointed analysis by ESPN's Bill Barnwell. Barnwell recently released his annual breakdown of the NFL's best luxury players, those whose contributions may not always make headlines, but who play crucial roles in specific schemes. One name stood out not just for what he brings to the field, but for how little he costs compared to his peers. Cincinnati Bengals defensive tackle TJ Slaton. Slaton, standing 6'4" and tipping the scales at 330 pounds, has quietly established himself as the league's premier two-down defensive tackle, a player relied on primarily in early down situations to disrupt run plays and dominate the line of scrimmage. And it's here that comparisons with DJ Jones, who is similarly utilized, become inevitable. Statistically, the two are nearly identical over the past 2 seasons. But while Slaton signed a modest 2-year, $14.1 million deal with Cincinnati in March, Jones inked a much larger 3-year, $39 million contract with Denver on that very same day. Barnwell didn't hold back in his assessment. With 2 sacks and 7 quarterback knockdowns over his 4 seasons in Green Bay, Slaton isn't going to show off a series of nuanced pass rush moves, Barnwell wrote. What he can do is control gaps and maul the player in front of him when asked. According to ESPN's analytics, Slaton led the NFL in 2024 with a 45.5% run-stop win rate from the interior, edging out not just DJ Jones, but also higher-profile names like Grover Stewart and DeForest Buckner. This is where the optics get murky for Denver. When viewed through the lens of performance per dollar, the Broncos appear to have paid a premium for a skill set that was readily available at a discount. And with Denver currently navigating a tight salary cap situation, not to mention preparing for what could be a 9-figure contract extension for rising star edge rusher Nick Bonito, the decision to allocate $39 million to a non-pass rushing specialist raises eyebrows. A questionable investment amid an aggressive offseason. To be clear, the Broncos have earned praise this offseason for their aggressiveness in bolstering the defense. They committed over $109 million to 3 key signings: DJ Jones, linebacker Dre Greenlaw, and safety Talanoa Hufanga. They also used their first-round draft pick, number 20 overall, on Texas defensive back Jahdae Barron. But even with these moves, it's fair to ask, did they spread their resources wisely? Jones's original 3-year, $30 million contract signed back in March 2022 was set to expire, making him an unrestricted free agent. Denver acted quickly, perhaps too quickly, to lock him up again without allowing the market to reset or exploring cheaper alternatives like Slaton. In his first 3 years with the team, Jones was productive, starting 48 of 51 games and contributing 122 tackles, 5 sacks, 9 pass deflections, and several key turnovers. He was on the field for nearly half of Denver's defensive snaps. Solid numbers, no doubt. But are those numbers worth $13 million a year, especially for a player who doesn't contribute consistently on third down? Looking ahead, is Jones a long-term fixture in Denver? For now, DJ Jones remains an integral part of the Broncos' front seven, but it's unclear whether the team sees him as a cornerstone beyond 2025, especially as they begin planning extensions for homegrown stars like Bonito and continue reconstructing a roster under a microscope. In the NFL, value is everything, and while Jones brings leadership and stability, Denver's front office will have to answer whether he brings enough impact to justify a top-tier contract at his position. Is this a case of loyalty outweighing logic, or simply the price of moving early in a competitive market? Time and performance will tell. And what's your take, Broncos country? Was the Jones deal a smart move or an overreach? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, smash that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth NFL coverage every week.